Hi there, Anna Guest-Jelley here, founder of Curvy Yoga, here with you today for another episode of From the Curvy Mat. I am really excited to talk with you today about this reader question because it is perfect for this time of year, the new year. And if you're watching later, you know what? It's something that comes up honestly all the time. So here's the question. When I was around my family recently, some people assumed I was wanting to lose weight and included me in diet talks with things like, I know you know what we mean. Thing is, I'm not trying to lose weight. How do I respond? Oh, this is such a tough one because you have so many different kinds of cultural conditioning going on. We have the assumption that people want to lose weight and that's always a desirable goal. And we have body bashing bonding. Yes, that is a form of bonding that happens. So let's dive into these. Before we go further, I just want to acknowledge that this is not a fun conversation. No one likes to have awkward conversations, particularly if there might be some tenseness with family members. So I just have to foreground that. Ugh, sometimes that's not fun. Okay, so let's go back to our first form of cultural conditioning. The idea that everybody wants to lose weight and it's all cool and it's a great goal to have. Not surprising that people in our life have this idea. There's a $20 billion diet industry giving us that idea everywhere we turn. So for me, it's often easy for me to kind of jump to, why don't these people know any different? Why can't they see what's happening? But I feel a lot calmer and more willing to meet people in an open conversation when I remember, oh yeah, there are a lot of forces working against the idea of body acceptance. And while one person can't change that, one person can make a positive difference towards another way. So that brings us to the second one, which is body bashing bonding. Triple B. So body bashing bonding is what happens, and I'm sure you may have been part of these conversations or at least witnessed these conversations. They seem to happen most often between women, but I don't think it's necessarily gender specific. What happens in these conversations is someone starts with, oh my gosh, look at my ass in these jeans, it looked terrible. And then the next person jumps in with, no, look at my belly, it looks even worse, your ass is great. So then it just kind of like spirals down like that, where people are trying to one up and be nice to each other by making themselves the worst or making their body part the worst. So while there is sometimes a nice quote unquote thread in this conversation trying to make your friend feel better, it's not helpful and it's often destructive. Rather than bonding through body bashing, what if we bonded through body acceptance? Or we just had other topics of conversation? Radical idea. So what can you do when these conversations come up and you don't want to participate, but you're not sure how to find a way forward? There are lots of different options depending on what feels safe and right for you in the moment. So the first thing is to just be in the conversation, but not actively participate. So you might not feel comfortable saying something or leaving, but you're not jumping in and piling on with, oh yeah, look at my fill in the blank. Another option is to find a graceful way to exit. So maybe all of a sudden you remember how much you needed to go to the bathroom, or how you just have to return that phone call or email right now if they'll just excuse you for a couple of minutes. Or there might be a way for you to just kind of mosey away. Whatever opportunity you have to leave the conversation, that is one good option. Another option is to say something small, start with a compliment. So rather than piling on with, oh yeah, look at my neck, or whatever the case is, you can go to, well, I think you look amazing. And that might be a way to shift the conversation a little, at least a little bit, even if the person disagrees with you, because people like compliments, even if they're not willing to take them. And then the other thing you can do is say something more to the point. So you can say, you know what, I'm really working on trying to accept my body, and I appreciate that you're including me in the conversation, but I would love to talk about things we like about our bodies or talk about something else. And you can make it lighthearted. I think people don't want to be a bore, or they don't want to be like the lecturer in the group, and I totally get that. I don't want to be that either. But maybe there are ways you can talk openly about what your body acceptance journey has been like. That might be something that your friends or family are interested in, maybe intrigued by, may kind of be dancing with themselves but don't know a way forward, and would love to have a support option available to be able to check in with you or the other people in the conversation. So we'll each find our own way through these sometimes awkward conversations. I very much believe that the most important thing is that you have the support you need after the conversation. So if you need to process with a friend, if you need to write it down, if you need to go for a walk, whatever you need to just kind of move through whatever came up for you in those conversations. I definitely trust that you are the best expert on what you need and what you need in that particular moment. And there's no right or wrong way to handle these conversations. I think whatever is most supportive of you is what is best. So now let us know in the comments below, how do you handle these kinds of conversations? I think the more advice we can get, the better we'll all be supported. Thanks so much for being here. Bye. You enjoyed this video. If you know somebody else who you think would be interested, I would love for you to share it on Facebook or Twitter. Come hang out with me on the Curvy Yoga Facebook or Twitter page. And if you'd love a little more Curvy Yoga in your life, go to my website, sign up, and you'll get 2 free chapters of my book, Permission to Curve. Bye!